Hello and welcome to Ula Tea Leaf Readings. My name is Lenor, and tonight I'm going to be reading your tea leaves. This is a horoscope for Pisces. If Pisces is your solar, lunar, ascendant/rising sign, then this is a message for you. All right, let's get started. And so our card tonight is the Three of Discs. That has everything to do with works. Okay, let's take a look and see what these tea leaves have to say tonight. And if you have not subscribed yet, please think about doing that. You can hit the little bell. It'll let you know when the next readings are coming out. It is free to subscribe. Okay, so immediately, it looks like we have a 6 right here. Then we have a Z, and it looks like a 0 or an O. Okay. Or maybe actually, look, it looks like 620. That's what it is. It also could be a 2 and a 0. Well, just a 2 and the 0, right? And then below it, we have a fish who looks like a fish right here who looks like he is holding something in his mouth with a little flame coming out of it. And then over here we have a person who's wearing a hat. It looks like a rather large hat. And I also picture them holding a pen and signing something. You can see kind of right there. So interesting symbols. So we have the numbers, and the numbers, I don't always know. I have very little knowledge of what those mean usually. But they come through and I like to call them out. The person wearing the hat, I feel like this is a sense of shielding yourself. Okay. I think that, as I'm looking, it seems like you are maybe doing something in your life where, you might be signing some contracts. You maybe, are filling out a resume or, doing something, right? Where you probably are signing your name or, probably signing your name to something. But I do feel like there's a sense of you're doing this because, and you have thought deeply about it, but it is something that is going to help protect you in your life, right? And I've probably imagined that this is something financial. So I think that it's important always, right, that we read everything that we sign. That's, goes without saying. But I do think that you are in a mode where you're considering how you're going to, be in a position of being protected against something, circumstances, some kind of fraud or loss of money or, whatever it could be. But you're doing your due diligence here and making sure that, you have all of your bases covered. And I think that you're doing a really good job. And, it's something that, hey, listen, you come to see a reading on, and you think, okay, well, this is kind of a weird message. But I think it's important. So if you are going into something in your work life, in your private life, make sure that you are definitely checking things over. Okay. I don't think anything's wrong, but I do think the universe gives out messages where it's like, okay, this time around, you better, have a real sharp eye to detail. Okay. Now we also have a 9 and a 2 right here. So we have 92 as well. And I noticed that just now. Now we're going to go ahead and turn this. Okay. And now this one's interesting. It reminds me of an old cartoon where it was like I think it was a mouse, and he traveled out to the west. I think it was Feifel, right? Feifel, is that the right word? Feifel goes west, I think. It kind of reminds me of that, this kind of face here. You can see the eyes, the nose, the mouth, the ear, and a little hat. And then over here we kind of have a landscape. There's a horse and a stream, and so I kind of, I feel like there's a sense of adventure. We also have a dragon down here, and we know we're in the year of the dragon. So this is a powerful sign, and I think it has to do with maybe the cycle of the year, maybe not just in the next few weeks. So I feel like there's a sense of kind of being drawn out of your little nest and getting out there and seeing the world a little bit, going on some kind of adventure for yourself. And I think that there has been a feeling of wanting to get out there and engage with the wider world, and maybe seeing things that you have not seen, experiencing things that that maybe you have never had any experience with. And I really get this feeling of like things not even really being planned out so much. Like, I don't feel like this is like a trip where you're, going to some kind of resort with like an itinerary. I think this is kind of more of a, I'm going to get out on the road and I'm going to see where, where it takes me, and figure it out as I go. And maybe this will be, for a couple days, or maybe it'll be for a couple of weeks. But whatever it is I feel like this is maybe a place that's less populated, maybe going out into, more rural country, maybe going to like some big parks, state parks or federal parks, or, if you're in another country, I don't know what you call them, but some natural places to go and see the wilderness, basically. And so we also have the horse. So I feel like in this trip there's a feeling of just letting go of a lot of that tension that is so built up in your neck, in your shoulders. Even as we're doing this reading, I feel like you are tense, like maybe your jaw's even really tense, but your shoulders and your posture, and I feel like there's just a humming sound of anxiety, underlying anxiety. And I think this is a time where when you have the opportunity to kind of leave your normal routine and get yourself out there to see some things, I think it will be really, really helpful. I think this is something you've been longing for. I don't know that there's any direct, overt answers when you get out there, but I do think there's a sense of feeling free, open, open, and a feeling of willingness to engage in the mystique of things. Allowing yourself to be influenced by your surroundings, to let your the personas that we carry, that we have to use throughout our days, letting those kind of dissolve a little bit, and kind of let yourself breathe, take it all in, and have not many intentions here. Have not, again, the itinerary. letting yourself see where the time takes you, where, you know, going on a little walkabout, a little adventure into the unknown. Okay, so let's see. I want to go right here. This one's interesting to me. Now, it looks like we have a person standing here holding some kind of it looks like a torch to me, okay? And I see them standing on an 8. It almost looks like 88 maybe. But even more so right here, it's kind of that infinity, in the shadow too as well. So there seems to be a real balance of as above, so below, the spiritual along with the mundane, and living a life in a place that is illuminated, and not necessarily by the sun, illuminated by your own light. And this is a powerful, powerful posture to be in. Okay, this is a very kind of erect and prominent, arms kind of out by side, holding this torch, right? And so I feel there is a growing confidence. We also have a person here who is kind of leaning over and lighting this torch, but if you look closely, it looks like the symbol for Gemini. So I also wonder if you don't have a beloved Gemini person in your life, and they are somebody who kind of always cheers you on. This is somebody who, you know, when you're feeling like, I don't know if this is the right thing for me. I don't know if I'm any good at this. You know, I'm having a hard time kind of, being brave enough to share whatever I'm creating, or, you know, just kind of, taking that next step. This is the person that, like, you know, is the good friend, the best friend, the spouse, the partner, the beloved, you know, maybe even a parent or a sibling, but whoever it is, they ride hard for you. They are somebody who's always cheering you on, always kind of gassing you up, not in a way that, you know, is ingenuine, but I think that they know that sometimes you need to remember, you know, how talented you are, how able you are, your you know, your creations, your abilities, your innovative nature is something that is unlike most people's. You are a rarity. And yet, you know, it's hard to really see that, because, you know, you probably live in a world where, you know, not a lot of people are doing whatever it is that you are interested in or good at, or whatever. You don't have a lot of peers. And so, you know, I think this person is very loving and vital to your story, because they care so deeply. And I think this has really helped give you the confidence to continue your pursuits, put your whole heart into it. And yeah, I think at some point here, being very brave and sharing the work that you've been doing. And I think this will be, you know, a really magnificent time for you as all of this kind of comes together. And I could see, you know, just a real success, more than you can imagine. Okay. I think, you know, it really is something that is going to end up being pretty profound, I think. And so, yes, this is a beautiful dynamic for sure. Now we have also down here, it looks like it looks like we have 0, 2, and then 2, 0. Okay, so kind of interesting symmetry there. We also have 2, 1, and 2, 1. So 21, 21. Oh, and maybe even, oh, look, a 0 and a 2 and a 0 and a 2. So really a lot of repeating numbers. And here in the middle as well, I just noticed this, we have the solar symbol. So there is a deeper illumination even. And that's a powerful in this root chakra, really a very activated and fertile period of time. Okay, so I think there will be a lot of creating here, a lot of inspiration, and and I think this is all going to go quite swimmingly as you get closer and closer to a final product, and then also being able to put that out in the wider world for others to experience and enjoy. Now we also have a 6 and a 4 here. Okay, so 64. A lot of numbers tonight. A lot of numbers. Okay, so I'm going to go over here and we're going to check these ones out. Ooh, we have a dove. Yes, we actually have 2 doves. You can see one more in a seated position or standing, and one kind of flying up there. Okay, so I do feel like this is a continued kind of on this idea of doing the work, and then the release of spirit into this flying position of a sense of freedom through manifestation. And I feel like once you kind of get through this period of time and you get to this place where it's, you've done all this work and you have crafted your beloved thing, your beloved project, your work, your means of making a living, or if this is like a hobby or whatever it is, and then it all comes to be, and you execute this so well, and there is a sense of flight within the soul, within the spirit. And there's a lightness to this time after, almost, I can imagine a time of shimmering. And there will be a great peace here, I think, and not only that, again, like I said before, I feel like this is very much tied to greater successes for you. Okay. And I really feel like you are coming into the beginning of this golden era for you. And I think that you will be quite surprised by how well things kind of go and how quickly that happens. Okay, now we're going to go ahead and take a look at our dreamers. Oops, my goodness. This is like my fourth or fifth reading tonight. And I'm getting to that point where I'm just dropping things, and even the cats, they have abandoned me. They got too tired. So, we have the Dreamers deck, 40 affirmations for pursuing your dreams from the I Know collection. And I'm going to go ahead and we'll flip through these and we'll stop where it feels right. I really like how these ones, I can flip through them so well. Okay, it says, I know that I am the only person who can bring forth the creativity that lives in my body. I know that I am the only person who can bring forth the creativity that lives in my body. I am magic. Yes. I am magic. There we go. Get it. Yes. Okay. Pisces, I'm going to tell you, I love you, and I do, and I do, and I do. And I thank you for spending this time with me, allowing me to bring you these messages. It's always such an honor. It is such an honor. And I'm getting silly, I know. It is always such an honor, and if you would be so kind as to like the video, it really does help the channel so much. And if you have not subscribed yet, please think about doing that. You can hit the little bell. It'll let you know when the next readings are coming out. It is free to subscribe. Hello, we have a Pudge, a little Pudgy. You know, it's almost Pudgy's birthday. It's coming up at the end of this month in March, and he's going to be 17 years old. The big 1-7, this boy. He's still real active and just a little menace to society, really. Aren't you? Yeah, you are. You're my big baby. He is. From the moment I met him at the cat rescue that I found him, this little baby, he found me, really. And I saw him, and I went over, and they let me go into this. It was kind of like pretty big room for him. And he had a sister that had been in there with him, and they were separated. But by the time I found him, and he immediately came over to me and sat right in my lap. And I said, yes, sir, you're coming home with me, aren't you? We're going to have a beautiful life together. And yeah, so 15 years later, we're still very, very happy, huh? My little baby. His original name was Anthony, and his sister's name was Cleopatra, but we call him Pud. Little Pudgy. Huh. Are you my little Pudgy? I didn't name him that, actually. It was a friend from back in the day. But yeah, he's the baby. And so, also, if you'd like to leave a comment, why don't you tell me about your beautiful companions, your kitty cats, your puppies, your rabbits, your lizards, your birds, whoever you have over there. I'd love to hear their origin stories. How did your relationship begin? And what else? What else do we have, Pudgy? I think that's it. So let's tell these beautiful Pisces people we love you. Take care of yourself, and we will talk in just a few days. Good night, good night, good night.